Hi guys, this is Breaker and I am back to stream my main man Dire. As you can see with the golden highlight around his name, he is actually a Grandmaster now in Wings of Liberty. The guy he's facing off against is also a Grandmaster. Spawning here in the lower left hand corner as KsAlexCMoi, our Red Terran. That was a bit of a backwards intro, and let me try that again. Backwards intro with Dire. There we go. Spawning as our Zerg, or spawning as our Direstrait EXE a blue Zerg. Sorry, it just feels a little weird. I don't know, maybe it's Korean grammar that's getting through to my head. By the way, speaking of Korea, I'm actually going there next semester, so yeah, hang on just a second. I don't know, I'm a little dumbfounded as to how this new replay interface is working out with. 2.0.4 is a version of StarCraft that's going to take a lot of getting used to. Aside from the arcade version, it actually took a lot of, I don't know, I'm still having trouble getting used to it. I'm sure everyone who hasn't played HOTS yet is still getting used to it. Definitely getting used to it. But enough about that. Let's go and talk about AlexCMoi for a minute. Let's see. Je suis triste que je puisse pas aller au ETS. ETS, I guess that's some kind of a tournament. He says I'm pretty sad that I can't go to a tournament somewhere ETS. Haha, why not? And he says j'habite à Jonquière. Jonquière? I'm not sure what that means, but he basically, Dire's saying, okay, I live in Jonquière. À Jonquière. What the hell is that? And this, I don't understand. J'habite à, what? Okay, there's no one good here. Okay, that's what he says. Sorry, I'm getting confused by the dialogue, but anywho. This guy is allegedly the best player in Quebec. And Direstrait himself is also from Quebec. But I also want to point this out right now. I'm sorry, I did get confused by the dialogue. There's a second hatchery going down here, as well as the spawning pool which is now going down. And I do apologize because right now I'm actually running the Taiwan and Korea client. Actually, the Taiwan client to be more politically correct, because I'm just too lazy to relocalize my client into English. Anyway, SCV is going to come in here and it's going to see that basically, well, I don't know. Let's just see what information it gets out of its scout. We're going to have to find out about that. Okay, so he comes in here, he sees there's no gas here, and there's no gas here. This is basically indicative at this stage in the game that Zerg is aiming for a third base. Frankly speaking, after I get the spawning pool out, I always like to make a pair of lings, maybe 2 pairs of lings just in case. But SCV is getting pulled back, and we got about 2 Marines just patiently standing guard here. I'm a little curious as to what the SCV is still doing here, however. Looks like the Marines are actually on their way to rendezvous. Ha ha ha! I spoke French there. Ha 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 ha! I'm just a little bit eager to see what their rendezvous will bring. Maybe throwing down a bunker here and putting 2 Marines in it. That wouldn't be too heavy, I think. 4 Marines, I think, would be a little bit much. At least that's what I've seen is a bit of a common practice. But of course, Dire has lings out and on the way. I believe only a scouting pair, but we're about to find out just what he's going to do with them. Here they are. Now let's see what they see out here. Okay, here they come. And there they are, the Marines. The SCV gets revealed. And now they're all dead. Brave heroes they were. But something I'd like to point out earlier is that when I came back here, I saw a double gas going down, and double gas is usually indicative of one of 2 things. That's either a 1-1-1 play, like eventually we see a factory followed up by a starport, or, interesting, a bunker at this location. Well, I'm not the pro, and I'm not the best in Quebec, so let's just see how this goes and what kind of plans he has. By the way, this is a Wings of Liberty game, so yeah. Queen's getting pulled forward to take down the bunker. Of course, that's kind of just a teensy bit of a hassle. Of course, if we just check out who lost more in that, it was Dire, but only slightly. This is the early stage. Every loss is a little critical. Not too terribly critical. And I did make a mistake by calling out a 1-1-1 play. Of course, the third the third command center going down should have indicated to me that there was something else going down. Dire having beautiful Overlord spread. Of course, he knows how powerful. I actually support this move, by the way, from Alex. I'm just going to call him Alex from now on. I actually support this move because bio builds are actually quite powerful against Zerg on this map, and I'm not entirely sure just what we're going to see here with these Hellions, but of course the Roach Warren did just finish up for Direstrait. Question is, what does he have in production right now? It's only 2 Roaches. He's not really supply blocked, but at the same time he is not really overcommitting to production in Roaches, so just gotta see where things go with that. Hellions, of course, going there to check and make sure the third is there, and he did see that, of course. Marines going back to base. Let's see what's in production right now. We do have a single engineering bay on the way, a second one now following that one up. And then, let's see, we do have STEM being researched right now, interestingly enough, nothing else. There's a couple of reactors going down on these 2 barracks, which means Marine production is just temporarily stinted. And this is a bit interesting. Looks like the Baneling nest is going down for Direstrait right now, and I don't think he is actually focusing on droning up at present. It looks as though he may just be looking to commit to a Roach Baneling timing attack. It's hard to say, really. Alright, let's see just where this goes. I did get another email. That's probably Direstrait playing against Desro on the ladder, but hang on just a second. Ooh, Roach is getting chased down. One of them actually gets killed by the Hellion. That's actually a little bit interesting because it's the last thing you ever expect to see in the game. Drones being finally produced. The question is, where are they going to go? Okay, it looks like they're going to the third, as we do see the number of workers on that increasing just a bit. Orbital command gets put down at the third for Alex, and so far we have I think, a stabilizing game, if you will. Neither player really losing a significant number of workers in the early game. There was that one SCV from earlier, and that's it. And of course the Spire is almost finished for Dire. Spire, Dire, Dire, Spire. Oh, yes, it's the Dire Spire. Let's see where things go here. Of course, the Baneling nest is also researching centrifugal hooks, and I'm a bit confused by what exactly Dire is doing here. Maybe he was just fooled by, I don't know, the significant number of Hellions from earlier. I know it would confuse me as well. I was informed that as a Zerg player, many Masters League players will basically throw down a Roach Warren if they see 6 Hellions out on the map. That usually indicates they're like basically trying to commit to some kind of a mech style. But Dire not quite overcommitting. Marines, of course, getting over here and ganking. Yes, I did just say ganking. Oh my god, they're gonna gank the Queens here. They ganked the Roaches, now they're gonna gank the Queens. Oh my god, are they gonna get away? What about this one? Is this one gonna get away? It's at the edge of the creep, and if it runs away, it's just gonna get chased down. Direstrait doesn't even bother with it. And now we got creep tumors getting cleared away. And what do we see from Direstrait in return? He's actually taking some mutas he had in production, and he's gonna get some very effective harass. Excuse me. Wow, very effective harass in the main, and he's getting a lot of kills out of it. Like, he's actually doing a very good job with this. It's actually quite effective. There's only a handful of Marines here. I think 1 for 1, he could have actually taken those down. And here we go, the main. There's going to be an engagement here in the middle. Beautiful surround by the Zerglings. Baneling's coming in, and there it is. Dire takes down the main force of KsAlexCMoi. But at the same time, we have a double medevac drop. It's going to get chased down, and is that going to be empty supply? Is what's in there going to die? No, it's barely alive. Direstrait just overcommitting a teeny bit, oh so slightly. And it looks like Dire, is he just continuing to crank out mutas? It looks like not. He's actually playing against Terran like he's playing against Zerg. By that, I mean he's just making a Spire, making a few mutas, and then he's switching tech over to something else. Not too much of a waste. It's actually a good choice, I think, on this map. There's a bunch of free supply depots here, by the way, which means Dire can actually come in here and just harass all he wants. And, looks like those mutas are going to go back into the main and then do what? we do have a tournament, or we do have a turret here. Wow, geez, my bad. All right. By the way, I forgot to mention that Alex belongs to the KS clan. I'm not sure what it means. Maybe killing spree. I believe that's what Tydrokos told me in TeamSpeak. Alright, Baneling's here. Oh, and Burrowed Baneling's here. Clever move, but at the same time on creep. I don't know about that. It can be a dangerous choice. Now, this is something that is a bit dangerous. Speaking of. Basically waiting for Terran to turtle up and get to 200-200. It's getting to be about that time, but hang on. We're having a huge-ish engagement here. Oh, no. Hold on, hold on. Dyer's actually taking... I don't know, like, what exactly is going on here. I don't know. I'm just thinking to myself, did I miss some kind of a medevac drop going down? Dyer is actually at a bit of a lower supply than he should be. His opponent here, KsAlexCMoi, should actually be looking to send medevac drops everywhere out on the map. We are approaching the 20-minute mark, which means the more we see both players continue to play, the more we are going to see them actually take their mineral lines into getting just basically dry mined, if you will. Like, it's going to be dry very soon. Now, something I want to point out right now is that Dyer actually has +2 on the way and +3 on the way, while his opponent is only just getting +2, +2. +3 melee attacks, and of course the adrenal glands are also going down for the Zerglings. And here we go, huge engagement in the middle, beautiful surround. Baneling's coming in, trying to connect where they can, but there's just too much here almost. Alright, and the Infestors burrow and get away as they throw away some beach balls, and it looks like the Infested Terrans actually do almost nothing. Dyer is actually in a heap of trouble. He's getting the Ultralisk Cavern, which means he'll be able to more effectively deal with any tanks that go out his way. And now this is it. The Marines are coming in here, killing the back door, and we just have to wait and see just what can Dyer do. Is he going to be able to save his third here? He's got a macro hatch to kind of absorb the damage that he's going to take here. And fourth base is going down for KsAlexCMoi at the same time, excuse me. And now we have Alex going down here and checking out the third-ish, fourth-ish base of Direstrait, if you will. And I think now would be the perfect time for Dyer to attack. He's just got to have a lot of leans to deal with what's going down here. He's actually, I think... Oh, wow. That was actually quite well dispatched of. Like, that was quick work by Direstrait. Like, I want to say it was both the hatch here and the hatch here that did it. But now we have Alex basically trying to poke around here, and it's just not working. Oh, and everything's out of position. There's creep up here. There's vision up here. The infested Terrans are going down right next to the tanks, and the Banelings are making beautiful connections, but there's just more tanks back here and more Marines, and everything else is just splitting up so carefully for Alex. But now we have 3 Ultralisks in production. Where are they? We've got a few of them over here. 2 of them over here, actually. And now we just have to see Direstrait basically wait and carefully plot and time everything out here. But also he has to really open his eyes to what's going on the map. He does see this here. He has to send some Lings to kind of harass that. Maybe send 2 Ultralisks over there right now. He has to realize, okay, well, I know my main is almost mine dry, but at the same time my opponent's main is bound to be mine drier, faster than mine-er, because he has mules. And there it is. Finally, the Ultralisks are making an attack on the planetary fortress here, and this is just the timing that Dyer needed to make, and it looks like he will be able... I'm not sure how many... He just got a lot of worker kills out of that. Here we go. Is this a beautiful surround that we've been waiting for Dyer? Oh my god, it was beautiful. The tanks were out of position. Banelings did connect with some of them, but they connected with them quite appropriately. Ultralisks falling down, but it's alright because the Ultralisks also managed to clean up everything else that's here. And now all of the army supply that we have left for Alex is nothing but medevacs and a handful of Marines. And also a ton of Marines that are getting cranked out right now. And beautiful Direstrait moves his Overlord there to spread creep just as he forced his opponent to really pick up that then morphing planetary fortress. Now it's an orbital. Now it's just a excuse me. Now it's just an. I hate forgetting these words. Now it is just a command center. There we go. Impeded speech, ladies and gentlemen, is a difficult thing to live with. Oh. There it is, the mutas. A few mutas come out, and they actually make very quick work of that command center. And now, if it's any question, with this 5-base Zerg to 3-base Terran play that we see right now, who's in the lead? It has surely been answered now. Let's check out the income for Direstrait. It's slightly above that of his Terran opponent. Now, one thing you have to keep in mind is that from the Terran's perspective, he's actually got to be further ahead because he's got mules and he also has to make a form of income. And there it is. He's finally killed the creep tumors that are holding up the gold mineral line there. And there it is. Siege tanks siege up, out of position. Zerg throws everything that he's got at Alex. And there are fungal growths going down. There's marauders in the mix, but I just don't think there's enough marauders here. There's just not enough Terran to take everything down here. The supply difference is now 30-something. Tanks are forced to fight unsieged. And there it is. One Ultralisk looks like it will fall. These Ultras are going to get kited and then chased down and attacked just a teeny bit. And there it is. Direstrait knows what his opponent's dealing with now. I think I would just throw an Overlord here and start spreading creep to annoy my opponent in his position. At the same time, he's got a few mutas here. I would probably throw those away. Doing an excellent job so far. But of course, he's really got to get this 4th base down. That's if he wants to survive. Here we go, guys. Oh, beautiful fungal growth, but of course there's just too much. There's just too much here that does bonus damage to heavy armored units. And KsAlexCMoi is forcing himself to engage in the only position where he can engage with a bunch of red health Marines and Marauders. They are running away from the Banelings, but the tanks are getting volleyballs tossed at them, and now there's a bunch of infested Terrans. And it looks like he's finally going to be able to land this orbital command and start making money off of it. You know, Alex being forced to fight in positions where he's not comfortable with it. Of course, he's being spread too thin. If we check the income right now, I want to bet, yeah, the natural is basically dry. There's almost no point in putting any SCVs there because there's only 200 minerals left. That's only enough to get a handful of Marines out. And now Dire's just concentrated on kind of just putting salt in the wounds of Alex right now. And he's doing a very good job of that right now, just throwing away everything he can that kills workers. There was a sick Baneling connection right here that I just barely missed. Oh, and this is a teensy bit good for Dire. Oh no, wait, he completely ignored the Marines on the ground instead of fighting them. And now instead of throwing a medevac drop, he's just forced to actually openly engage. He was trying to throw all these Marauders and Marines at his opponent to try and take down the upper left-hand corner base. And here we go. The Mutas and the Ultralisks are just too much. They actually overran everything. I don't think are there any Lings left in this composition? It looks like there are, but they're forced to fight over here. Dire is actually borderline 200 right now. Beach Ball's going down, basically kind of trying to take the damage, the brunt of the damage. And now if it's any question who is winning this game and who is the best in Quebec right now, it has surely been answered with the GG that we've seen. KsAlexCMoi cry out. And Dire says GG because it warrants a GG. I want you guys to forgive me because I actually had my League of Legends set up when I was casting this game today. So yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching. Please hit the subscribe button on my channel, and we'll just see where things go in the near future.